Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders. This is Abdurrahman from FXAutoRate.com, and here is what's on my radar this February the 8th, 2016. We begin with the Aussie New Zealand on the weekly charts. We start with the weekly charts today, and we have here on the chart a beautiful bend trade setup. And as you can actually see, it has also broken this trend line that is here as well. So look for a trade off of the Aussie New Zealand. I know that we're already in an Aussie New Zealand daily trade. I'm going to update you guys on that one as well. It is looking sweet. It's looking really nice. But we also have a potential weekly trade for those who like to trade the weekly charts as well. Moving down to the Aussie Japan, we also have the Aussie yen. We have a bend trade that has set up here, and the thing, I like the bend trade, period. I like the bend trade, but on this one it just does not have any room for the risk reward is going to be very low. It's going to get caught up. If you look at the monthly charts, it's going to get caught up between these two zones, and if it falls down here, it really would be nice. So it's going to be a judgment call as to what to enter in, because the getting past the first zone will be the first hurdle for this particular trade. So as it looks right now, I think I'm going to pass off on this. I'll give a little bit more consideration as I analyze this over the next few hours, and I'll make a decision as to what to do with this particular trade and how it looks for us in the next coming several weeks. Let's move down to the Euro Aussie. There is a Acapulco that's sitting here, even though the cliff candle is very small and minimal, and that's why you probably have this big, huge retracement here, which has turned out to be a nice bend trade. But the sad part about this one as well is that the risk reward is very small. Even if you enter into this part of the trade here, you have the heights of here of 142 pips and maximum somewhere around here at 320 with a risk reward of over 500 pips. So just for you guys who are watching this one at this point, this seems to be a no-go in terms of a bend trade. Over to the Aussie, to the Euro CAD as well. We were looking to get into a trade on this one as well. The Euro just was acting very strong last week, so it probably looks like that Acapulco trade, which we were trying to get, I'm going to call it off over this week. But anyway, we will wait and see. The trade is there. It hasn't triggered yet, so we're going to hold off and wait and see on this one as well. But this trade probably won't be triggered, and probably will get a cancel on this as well. But the risk reward, even if it does go back up in here, up in these levels up here at the 58.44 or the 59.47 levels, this is not a good risk reward on this particular trade, even if you did a bend trade as well. Let's move over to as I look at the charts, let's move over to the US Swissy, and also another bend trade that's taken forth. But you can see here, it doesn't like to go past this particular support and resistance level here at the 98.24 level. So and I think I'm going to pass on this one as well, but just to give you guys a heads up of what's going on the Swissy as well as the yen, the US yen pair. We do have a bend trade here, but you can see this is the end of the line here. This is just going to go back up here. So I look for a reversal trade from the yen as well. Let's move over to the daily charts. Well, what do you know? Off of the Aussie dollar daily, remember we were in a trade hearing, and on that particular day, it was one of the worst days for the US dollar, and it just reversed on us. Even though this trade was a beautiful setup, the Aussie had negative trade news, and yet it's still, everyone just ignored the US data, and it went up. And what you have is a market correction here. Now you have a bend trade sitting here off of the the Aussie, and it is a nice strong bend trade. Maybe we'll get a correction into the area in which we were actually supposed to be going, heading back down south. So I like this trade. I like this setup, and I am looking to enter into this trade on Monday as well. So look for a trade signal off of the off of the Aussie dollar trade. Market correction here. It was a good call. The market just corrected itself over the last few days and heading back south, folks. The Aussie CAD, as I mentioned before, squeeze play in an earlier video that I sent out to my people. Squeeze play is now in play. As we see here, you have two choices. We either enter into a voyager or we look for a retrace for confirmation off the squeeze play and heading back down south. So the Aussie CAD is definitely on the watch list, as well as the Aussie New Zealand. As I said before, potential Aussie New Zealand weekly bend trade setup, and here is our particular trade that's already in play. We are very close to target 61. We're somewhere around 16 pips, 16 to 20 pips before we hit target 1, which is at 1.0631. So that trade looking good. We see what happens on Monday on this particular trade as well. But looks like it's going down unless there's some serious negative news. I don't see any reaction to this. But again, I can't predict the market. I only react to it. And thus far, very good trade. Aussie New Zealand heading south towards target 1, few pips away. Let's move over to the Great Britain, New Zealand. This seems to be back, as I said before, in the dailies. Went out the box, back up in the box, and fake out. Holding on to the trade. Either hit the stop or hit the target, either one. So we move the stops down to break even plus 10, and we see what happens with this particular trade. It's a volatile period. It moves up and down like that. We'd like to get some movement where we'll break past this 1645 level on the chart. And the New Zealand dollar, the Kiwi, has a nice moolah trade set up. Very nice moolah trade that is set up. I think I'm going to enter into this trade as well. Look for a signal for this one as well. Good targets level, but you have to target down in these levels as well for it to have any risk reward. It's going to end up being a 1-for-1. So if you want to do a 1-for-1, that's fine. If not, pass up on this particular trade as well. Here again, we go back to the Swissy. The Swissy, as I said before, it was into a rhino, busted out. I told you to probably max out up here. Just did a reversal back on the Swissy. Looking at the Acapulco, but the diver candle may have went a little bit too far. But even if it didn't, the risk reward down here is so minimal. A trader which you pass on, but just give you a heads up and let you take a look and see what's going on with the Swissy. With that said, that's it for me, guys. Give you an update off the Asian session. You guys have a magnificent day on purpose, and look out for that. Once again, look out for this particular this Aussie New Zealand daily chart. Hope we hit the target, and hope you guys had stayed in on that one as well. With that said, have a magnificent day on purpose, and talk to you soon.